Yeah, it's a bit of a different round two that I've experienced before, given the break that we've had. But yeah, really excited. We've got a couple of good training sessions between now and Saturday, and yeah, looking forward to continuing on with the season.
Alex Ivani's finished his one-game suspension. Do you think there's any chance of him coming in for the Western Bulldogs, or are you guys quite happy with how your defensive setup's looking at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, Alex could certainly come in. He's had a really good summer. We know he can play a role for us in defence. So yeah, I mean, that's up to the match committee what they want to do with him. He's looking in really good shape, and he could certainly come into the side at any point through the season and play a role for us.
Your defence lost a couple of people at the end of last year, and I know you guys changed the setup a couple of times during the pre-season. You're quite happy with how it looked, certainly against West Coast. You kept the score down. Are you guys confident you can still keep that same sort of defensive pressure on, given you've lost those couple? Yeah,
I think so. We pride ourselves on having a really, I guess, united and strong back six, but that feeds into how the whole team is defending, and Ross is very strong on a team defence model, as we're all aware, and so, you know, we look good if players up the field are doing their role as well. The forward pressure is immense, and the midfield are playing their role. So yeah, it all ties in together.
Luke, you've played footy for a long time. How important is confidence to a side?
Confidence is, I don't think it's hugely important. I think it's more about action and about, you know, staying in the moment. So, you know, for us, coming off the back of a good win against West Coast, you know, that was great for the day, but it means nothing now. And we know that getting into action in the next couple of training sessions is the most important thing, and hoping that we can deliver again on Saturday.
The reason I asked that question is I think Ross said about a week ago he reckons confidence is overrated.
Yeah, well, look, I share the same feeling. I think it's maybe as a younger player I might have sort of bought into it a bit more, but I guess a man of more mature years, I appreciate that, you know, confidence is just a feeling, and it's more about getting into action.
What do you make of the Bulldogs' first up performance?
Yeah, I thought it was, you know, they were outstanding. I was listening to the snippets on the radio, and they certainly looked like they were, you know, very competitive, moving the ball well, and certainly was a thumping win for them. So, you know, probably unexpected win for them, and so we have to be really on our guard this week, and know that at any given time against any team, you can be found out, and so we need to make sure we bring our best game or somewhere near our best.
When you say unexpected, did they surprise you at all with how good they were?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, you know, coming off the back of the pre-season form with, you know, the way Brisbane were performing, and I guess, you know, we certainly got hold of the Bulldogs in our pre-season game, and so they certainly really came to play, and I think that just demonstrates, you know, if a team is 5% off or right on, you can really make a dent in any game.
Luke, no doubt the season is broken up into sections. You know, what does a club and what does Fremantle hope to get out of, say, the first month, the first 6 weeks of this season? What is it all about?
Look, for us, it's just an extension of our pre-season, really, in the sense that, you know, we've been building, you know, for 3 or 4 months, really rehearsing, replicating, training this game plan, working on all our structures and contingency plans, etc. And so for us, it's, you know, it's putting it into action into these games, and yeah, you do break the season into small chunks. It is a long year if you think about it, you know, as a full 22, 23 rounds, whatever it is. But yeah, to break it up into small chunks, we want to be a really competitive unit in every game, and show that all the learning and all the growth that we've done over the summer comes to the fore in these early games.
When do you hope to be at your best if you're looking at breaking up the season?
Oh, look, I think you'd want to be at your best all year if you can. I mean, we know that, you know, every team, I guess, goes through a bit of a slump or whatever it might be through the season, but we hope that we can continue to deliver the brand of football that we've, I guess, started to demonstrate, particularly in the second half of last year, and to know that, again, if all your structures and your effort and your game plan and everything come to the fore on game day, you should be a competitive side in every game that you play in.
The Lindsay Thomas incident over the weekend, has that left a grey area again now in terms of the head-high contact?
Yeah, look, I mean, I had a brief look at it. It's certainly, something that's caused a lot of debate and conjecture around the AFL. And I, for one, as a player, it's more just, these rules are in place, are still in their sort of infancy, and we need to sort of get our heads around what they all mean as an entire playing group and the AFL. So we'll continue on. Just trying to adapt, I guess, and get a greater understanding of what these rules mean. But, from a player's point of view, there's not really much we can do about it.
Is it confusing though? I mean, we've probably spent 2 years trying to get our heads around that that's just a no-go area, and then for him to get off.
Yeah, look, I mean, I've been victim to a few head-high bumps as well in the past, and yeah, I mean, it can leave a player a bit bewildered at times. But again, it's they just call it as they see it, and we just have to accept the consequences.
Do you just stick to that you just don't go there anymore? Do you just ignore that ruling over the weekend?
Yeah, well, no, you don't ignore it, but you just try and learn from it and understand it, I guess, and implement it into your game somehow.
Hayden Ballantyne's suspension opens up a spot in the forward line. There's a few obvious candidates after the pre-season, but who would you suggest would be leading the pack?
Oh, look, we've got a raft of different players that could come in and play in the forward line. I know that we've got the strength that we have in there already with Chris Mayne and Michael Walters, etc. have been good. But look, it's again, I mean, that's a decision for the match committee. They'll see and assess how certain players have been going in recent weeks and make a decision.
Early indications are Daniel Pearce could be a very good pickup for the club this season.
Yeah, he's been great for us. He's trained really strongly over the summer. He's got beautiful skill. The way he goes about his football is a very professional individual. So yeah, his early indications have been good. He was very solid against West Coast. But we expect him to deliver that sort of performance every week.
Has he dropped a bit of weight since coming to the club? He looked quite bulky when he first came over.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly. I mean, I guess by virtue of the fact of the amount of running that we do in our pre-season, we are very focused on fitness and as most teams are, I'm sure. But he does seem to look a bit leaner. He's moving very well, and yeah, we hope he can be really good for us this year.